Perfect. Hi guys, I'm George from DoraHacks and welcome to episode 2 of the Aptos DAO Round-2 demo session. I'll be your host and moderator for this demo session, and please feel free to reach out to me at any time via my Telegram at George Dora if you'd like to connect and chat more about building a project or partnerships with DoraHacks. For a bit of background on the Aptos DAO program, it is a long-term program which DoraHacks will support in order to drive the growth within the Aptos ecosystem. We successfully completed round 1 late last year, which had over 130 submissions and 18 teams received funding. And now in round 2, so far we've got 217 builders. For anyone interested in building on Aptos, the round 2 will close on the 17th of February. So if you're building, you are welcome and invited to submit your project through our platform, DoraHacks.io. Today we've got 4 fantastic projects joining us to give us a demo. They are the Auth Protocol, Bridges.xyz, AptoScan, and Genie. For the audience, please feel free to share any questions that you may have during the session in YouTube or Binance live chat room, and I'll ask these questions for the teams after they present. So without further ado, let's welcome the first team, the Auth Protocol, to present their project to us. Welcome.
Thank you, George. I want to share my screen for the slides. Can you guys see my screen?
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, great. So the Auth Protocol, what we're calling it, is an anonymous decentralized authentication for Web3. And we realize that the next billion Web3 users are going to be Web2 users with social logins, whether that's an email, a Google, Apple ID, looking to log in into DApps and social identity binding DIDs. And currently all the social account verification services are centralized. And these services also are hard to massively adopt because there's a big lack of trust in the ecosystem. And finally, all these social account information that gets stored and abstracted by the social verification services could suffer abuse or be exposed by the combination of Web2 information and Web3 information. So this is where we came up with the Auth Protocol, which we call it a decentralized OAuth protocol for Web3, where it's a trustless, verifiable, private, and fully decentralized network. We can see on the right that usually in Web2, users use the centralized protocol OAuth to gain access to different apps or build profiles like Google, Apple, Twitter, Discord, etc. And then in the ideal would be in Web3 to have a decentralized protocol, as Web3 is decentralized, to access the different DApps and build decentralized IDs. Then users would use like the Auth Protocol as the intermediary between, like, for example, Cloak, Ceramic, Web3 Auth, Magic, and so on, to go up and use the DApps. Two of our core functions are single sign-on, decentralization of social logins, and social recovery. We can see here that usually the user, when using any social account authentication or one of like the most common ones, they pass through the danger of having their info, like the Web2 info, be combined with their Web3 info. So like tying an email address to a wallet address. So imagine with the Auth Protocol, the user could sign in, everything inside the authentication will be private, and then you cannot connect the user information with the wallet information and everything that happens beyond that point. And then for decentralized IDs, you could have a decentralization of social account aggregation with zero knowledge credentials, whether, let's say, a user first, while authenticating, goes through usually a centralized authentication. You could see that decentralized ID could not interact with other IDs or other DApps that went through a different authentication protocol. So the idea would be to use the Auth to not only abstract and provide privacy and anonymity, but also to use several decentralized IDs with different DApps and aggregate those accounts together. How it works, it would be basically have a network of nodes. You can see here this is a node for DAuth, and then the user would be able to contact the node, create an encrypted communication channel, sending the email and the account that he wants to authenticate. So let's say they send DoraHacks@gmail.com, then the information goes into the secure enclave which is private. Nobody could read it. Not even the DAO protocol itself could access it. So then the secure enclave makes an API request to the authentication server for that social account. The social app or account provides the user the window or the pop-up for the user to log in. And when the user enters his credentials, the social app authentication server sends an access token to the secure enclave, notifying that the user has been authenticated, and it can proceed with the user's identity already verified. And then depending on the application that the auth is connected to, it could either use the D-Link modules or generate a CK proof for DID platforms, or it could also use the D-Sign module to generate a signature or an MPC sign. We're also open to interacting with protocols that already have their, or could be like what third-party signers. That way, any protocol that has any like OAuth format or any regular like social account sign-on could use us, could integrate us and go on from there. For tokenomics, because it's a decentralized network, we want to encourage people to use it. You would have several nodes staking the DAO token, and they would get rewards while providing the DAO service. That reward would be in the same value of the token. Then for utility, the DApps that integrate DAuth would need to stake the token to be able to access the different services. And then those stake tokens will get burned as time goes on while they use the service. That means that the users will have, that means that the tokenomics will have a deflationary design. Then we also have transaction fees for all those tokens. Whatever token that gets transacted from wallet to wallet can be allocated or will be allocated a small percentage of it to the protocol's treasury, and that would obviously like help the protocol grow, make more partnerships, and scale the operations. And finally, punishments. If we see that a node is misconducting and breaking the rules within the network, the stake will be slashed. So that means that the network itself is encouraged to provide the actual authentications. So marketing and for marketing strategy and our partnerships, we're currently talking with a lot of like partnerships with a lot of protocols, doing whether they're like DID protocols or social login wallets, to have them integrate us in their sign-up flow. We've been doing a lot of like sales-driven and business development growth. We're starting doing product-driven growth with AMAs, Twitter ads, newsletters, and we're looking forward into making node operator partnerships. Some of the platforms that we're looking forward to integrate with, or that we could talk to them and have a good implementation in their flow, are Argent, Web3 Auth, Magic. When these two, even though they seem to be competitors by providing authentication, they use centralized authentication like OAuth, and we could replace that in their sign-up flow to give them a more decentralized functionality. Also, Cas is another wallet, Orcas, which is our ecosystem product to build more engagement in our platform. Then we have decentralized ID protocols like Cloak, Project Galaxy, NextID, CyberConnect, Ceramic, etc. And we've been talking to them, looking forward to see how we could add value to their social account or social login experience. So our roadmap right now, we're working on the DAuth module, getting it implemented, releasing the SDK for the different protocols, like basically a vanilla version for us to prove our concept and that everything works. Then in Q2, we'll be able to release a D-Link and D-Sign modules to interact and connect with other DID platforms or other wallet services. Then in Q3, we're going to deploy our network, obviously after testing it on a testnet with all these decentralized nodes and the token. And then in Q4, we'll hopefully look forward to have the SDK integrated by more than 20 DIDs or a single signer projects, and hopefully have 100K users. So our team, basically, it's me and Dean. I'm born in Panama. I went to study to USC. I did industrial engineering, applied data science, and then I worked at a DeFi startup called So Protocol, where I did some backend engineering. I learned a lot about DeFi. I saw a lot of UX problems that need to get fixed. And that's where I met Dean, who was working on this technology, and we partnered together to build DAO. Dean, he studied information security and cryptography. He was also a general partner at Cross Network. He was a software engineer at Cisco and has won a bunch of grants for Solana, a lot of grants and hackathons, for example, the Solana Summer Camp. And finally, we're looking to fundraise. We're looking for 1.5 million. We're going to use this money for product development, marketing, customer acquisitions, operation expenses, and a patent application for technology. Thank you for listening. I think that's all we have. I know I threw a lot of information to you. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Perfect. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for your presentation. A question that I had was in relation to the roadmap, right? So coming into Q2 and Q3, I understand that you're going to try and do a raise, but I mean, without the raise and pre-raise, is there anything that you've got planned for the coming few quarters?
I'm not sure if I understood your question.
Just more so in Q2 and Q3. I mean, do you have a roadmap coming into the rest of the year?
Yeah, so in Q2, Q3, we're gonna release the D-Link and D-Sign modules, and then deploy the decentralized network. So we're gonna build the DAO, provide the DAO like as a testing and start like integrating with several projects that want the decentralized authentication. Then we're gonna start talking to DID protocols who would wanna support Web2 social logins, and then on Q3 we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna deploy the decentralized network. Hopefully we could use Aptos for it.
Yeah, sure, perfect, cool. Well, thanks Mike for your presentation, and now we'll move on to the next team, which is Bridges XYZ. Welcome.
Thank you. So let me share screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, DoraHacks. Thanks to Aptos for the opportunity presenting Bridges. Bridges is a kind of a new product of through the blockchain, which is in the market for 5 years. So what is Bridges? Oh, first of all, about through the blockchain, the mother company of Bridges is founded in 2017 in Silicon Valley and backed by JP Dragon and Nord Capital. It's a cross-chain swap platform, currently support more than 400 cryptocurrencies and more than 50 public chains. And daily trading volume is over $10 million equivalent of USDT, and more than 20,000 daily active users in 79 countries. So through the blockchain, we have very diverse ways to do cross-chain swap. And then here is a Bridges we created like a few years ago. It's totally decentralized cross-chain trading platform. The key features include we probably is the cross-chain swap service in the market supporting the most chains. Currently, we support 13 trending top of public chains, and we pretty much like super aggregator go to very wild in the back end, different route to find a better rate for the users, and everything's on chain, transparent, and speed is pretty fast, between 1 minute to 3 minutes, and we have 24/7 real human being customer support, because the cross-chain swap actually is a complicated process. A lot of issues could happen because of the chain, because of user knowledge about the public and how to set up their wallet and stuff. And so we provide 24/7 real human customer service. And our business model both to B2B and B2C for anybody, wallets, and trading platforms, even lending platforms, even GameFi, and even NFT platforms. They can integrate the bridges to easily enable their users to swap any assets they need in their platform without going out of their platform. But we are providing API to any partners who is interested, and the integration is really fast. And we have a dedicated tech team can support the process smoothly and fast. So this is the list, the blockchain we support right now. We're continue adding this list and we are also one of the first platform, I think maybe the first cross-chain swap platform supporting Aptos. And so MyMasafe, they already integrated Bridges API. MasaFe is a native Aptos wallet, as you know, and they already integrated our Bridges API. If you don't know Bridges, just like Intel Inside on any computer, many of the wallets, they have Bridges inside, and we're the secret sauce, we're the secret engine behind a lot of wallets, program and platforms providing your cross-chain service. And this is our business model. We share the fees with our API partners. Usually, we charge only 0.3% of fees. It's pretty low in the market. And our API partners can add anything on top of it. And those are the profit for our partners. And they can bring the traffic, and we bring their service, the cross-chain swap service. And it's a win-win solution. Over the few years, the team has won a lot of rewards, a lot of awards in all kinds of competitions. And we are also the alumni of the first batch of Blockchain Berkeley Accelerator. So the team, the founder and CEO and CTO, they're both from Tsinghua University. They are the very OG of the whole blockchain space, almost since the beginning. And I myself got my first Bitcoin in 2014. I'm the CMO of the team. And then I started working in Silicon Valley since 2017. And over the few years, we already grew up users more than 2 million across 79 countries. And our native token, Sweetcoin, has been listed on Coinbase. And we developed worldwide partners in all kinds of sections, including wallets and lending platforms. And we were in the first cohort of blockchain, Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator. So here's the Bridges. Let me give you a real quick demo what we can do. We already have trading volume about 9 million on daily basis, and we're serving a lot of Aptos users. Let me change the screen. Okay, this one. This is the Bridges, what Bridges can do. Here, connect a wallet. So those are the wallets Bridges supported right now. Connect MetaMask. So let me see if let's use this one, MetaMask. And then this is the blockchain we support right now. Let's do, and Bridges can support any cryptocurrency on any chain. one-click swap. Let's randomly select BSC. Let's do our own cryptocurrency. That's our native token Circoin on Binance Smart Chain to Aptos here. Then, I need to have an Aptos wallet address to finish this transaction. This is just give you a quick concept of what bridgers can do. And here you can see that Aptos, we do support Aptos chain, but so far we only have one token listed. By this opportunity, I also like to call for anybody interested to get your Aptos native token to list it on bridges. Welcome to talk to me as well. Yeah, this is about bridges. Welcome. Any question? Thank you.
Thanks, Christina. Thank you very much for your presentation. So can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, perfect. So a question that I had for you was, I had two questions. So first question is, how do you plan to attract a lot of users to use bridges?
Social media, community, influencers. I myself going to all kinds of Twitter space meetings and partners. This is direct users coming to bridgers, and we have a long list of API partners. They bring the traffic, including Token Pockets, who has the biggest China user base. BitKeep, has been famous in the international market. Ballet Wallet, the founder of Ballet Wallet is famous. He's the brother of Charlie Lee. Charlie Lee is the founder of Litecoin. Coinbase Wallet just integrate DApp into their the browsers section. So we have multiple ways to attract the users, and it has been proven to be successful because we have been profitable over since the project started.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And then in terms of the revenue model, so can you touch a little bit more about that whole process and the revenue model there?
The revenue model, two parts. One part is direct trading, which are 0.3%, the 0.3%, sorry, the fees, And then for the partners, we share the fees with partners, and we still charge 0.3, but the partners, they can add anything on top of it. So it's a win-win. So basically two ways of revenue model: direct and API partners.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you very much, George.
Thank you. Now we will welcome the team from Aptos Scan. Welcome, Bill.
Hi, how you doing, George?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Good. Great to be here, and thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
All right. Let me probably put up my my share screen, and we're good to go. One second. Is it possible to share the window, actually? Oh, there we go. Are you guys able to see like this window, right? Just this window, right? You're not seeing my Slack or anything.
No, I can just see your the window.
Just the window, okay. Just the Aptos scan. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, then we're good to go then, I suppose.
Yes, perfect.
All right. Well, thanks for having us today. We're Aptos Scan. What are we? We are a real-time NFT explorer developed by Sophia. I mean, the product itself is Aptos Scan, but it's pretty much been born out of the the software team itself, with support from very limited human resource. So we got one full-time guy and then 2 people that's sort of doing this on part-times. But yeah, we're actually able to prove this amazing product, and I think we're rolling this out free to the public, for the greater good. It's just really trying to benefit the community while we build this, right? So this is really based off on those data, and that's been shared by Software as real time and live data that's been sort of shared by Software, and this have been captured in real time, right, and been sort of tracked by real time. So if you go into the URL here and you come onto the home page, right, which you see here, this is up from a very analytical sort of UI. It shows you, first of all, an overview across the chain, right? And this is really because Software itself has been an aggregator, and Aptos Scan is, having the name for the Aptos Scan is not Software Scan. It's really capturing data across the entire Aptos chain, right? And up front here, what it shows you is sort of the situation across the Aptos chain is total NFT assets out there, about 1.6 million. Right, total demands of collection out there about 13,000, and in the meantime, you got total holders. How many holders are there across the chain that's been captured? Total market cap. And you got buyers and sellers has been taking the action in the past 24 hours. Right, total volume. So also shown here through the real time data as well. Right, and the transactions. So yeah, that's sort of a very analytical UI, as I was saying, that we started off with. Looking at the right corner, you have live and collection that's happening. We click into the live. I'm not going to do that. It's just show that. But if you go to the live here, what it does is that it also shows what I meant earlier by saying it's real time data. It's been sort of being captured and acquired in real time. This shows you all the sort of the latest transactions happening, right? I should refresh the page anyway. Right, and you'll be able to see what's going on across the Aptos chain, give you a very holistic kind of view, right? And here I can see that the latest transaction, as I was refreshing back there, it happened about 49 seconds ago. That was down on this specific collection, right? And all the previous transactions are happening across the Aptos chain, right? And I can see the type of it, right? This is a mint that's going on, and that probably means there is a real-time mint, right, happening on some launchpad. And you can see the sender, right? The value of it that's been sort of minted at 2 APT, and the gas fee that's entailed through real-time time stamping there as well, right? And what also supports it is, if you look at it here, that has a version number that's clickable. It has a sender number, sender hash ID that's clickable. Right? If you click on that, that supports more detailed analysis and more, granular data about this specific transaction than about this specific sender as well. So we'll dig into that in a bit, right? For now, I also want to show you on the right-hand corner here, you have the collection. But if you scroll down the home page, you also see the hot collections has been, automatically gathered and consolidated based on the past 7 days trading volume. So you have Aptos Monkey, the Quantum Space Pirate, Aptos Mingo, a few that's sort of happening in real time, right? We got down there, we got Tag NFT that's sort of been down through Soulfly's free launch functionality, which we'll have a chance to demo that separately. But yeah, it's also in there in the hot collections. It's been decided by real-time trading volume in past 7 days. You have the latest transactions that's happening here, but you get a more holistic view here through the live button here, right? And then in real-time minting that's happening, and that's just corresponds to what we saw earlier. What's happening on the specific collection, down at certain prices happening. Right, so it gives you a very holistic view if you want to be a professional, NFT investor yourself or collector yourself on the Aptos chain. Right? and we're expanding the service. I guess hopefully with sufficient funding as well, and we'll be able to sort of expand the service into not only on Aptos, but then into the entire Moodle language ecosystem. Potentially we'll be supporting Sway, and then maybe even in the future supporting some EVM ecosystem as well. Right, so that hopefully will be feasible if we have sufficient funding in place. Right now, this is still kind of a beta version of things. So yeah, as I was saying that, then I want to also sort of jump into the collection page. If I click on the right-hand corner up here, and that shows you all the collections on the Aptos chain as of this point, right? Right now, you see the tab for all collections has been clicked, and you can see this all that's out there. You have Aptos Monkey, have Mingle, whatnot, yada yada yada. So the list just goes on and on and on, right? And then whilst we add it, you're able to see total volume, the total trading volume in the past 7 days, the floor price changes in the past 30 days, showing real-time data as you track your cursor through that. You get number of holders that's going on here, total royalties revenue, right? So that gives you all that kind of granular kind of level of detail. I can obviously switch on to the hot collections tab, where you get the same amount of granularity, but it will be much more of a sifted kind of view, right? So it won't be the entire collections of the stuff, but it's just going to be the hot collections up there. I can obviously click into any specific collection, and that will give me a little bit more details about it, allow me to conduct more detailed analysis. I'm just going to maybe pull one right here, see if I have that. Okay, we'll just use the Aptos Monkey, right, as an example. You go into here, you're able to see the creator ID here, the number of items. It shows you the creator royalty, total royalty revenue that's going on here. When was it created? About 3 months ago. Right, total market cap is going on, holders, floor price, whatnot, right? And I can see that real-time price is tracking. Right? You got a floor price is happening, average price, max price, minimum price. I think it's actually, if you ask me, I think a little bit too much of a granularity. You're talking about NFT stuff. It's almost like trading stocks now, right? So I think that's a good step that we're pulling. There are more and more, I guess, professional collectors coming on board. Click on to the NFTs tab here. You can also conduct real-time purchase. If I flick this on, this buy now button, you actually be able to just make purchase of any of the collections here. I'm not going to demo that part. Don't have sufficient APT in my wallet as we speak now, but yeah, you can also support. Right now, you see all that stuff is on Souffle because Souffle is an aggregator itself. So naturally, when we bridge that in, you will actually be able to see the entire listings across the chain, right? But obviously, with support sort of this filtering through other marketplaces as well. Also able to show you the trades, that's been sort of down through the background, the clothing, Astros and eyes, whatnot, right? So that gives you a very, I guess, user-friendly kind of UI if you want to make purchase directly from here. Very easy to view, easy to use. And on the activity tab, when I also able to see, the past transactions that's sort of happening in real time, the listings that's happening, it gives you different types of transactions, right? Give you the rank of the specific item, timestamp what that happened, the price, and it gives you even a little bit more details, right? Of who sent to who, whatnot. And we can also, look at the holders analysis. It will show you whether there are some of the whales. I think that's one of the best functions to use out here. Able to see the whales that's out there, who's holding what, and whether they're making any movements. Maybe that signifies something. So you're going to be able to track that, right? The whole total volume of this, and then numbers, right? It's probably the official one, and then some of the others. Just the list goes on and on. The purchase volume, the sell volume, and numbers, transaction count, the timestamp on that. The latest, meaning the latest action that's been done for that specific address. So we can get into a little bit more detail here. If we want to click into any of the wells, for example, that will show you some more details about what's going on with that address, right? Just using this one here as an example. So right now, if we look at the specific address, he holds 10 NFTs. And I can see that's coming from 5 different collections. And the most hold here is like, the one was the highest price was in that. I'm sorry, I mean, this is most hold is say the most number of items within the collection. And then the highest price that's coming out of here is also been sort of filtered out. How many activities has been done on the NFT side for this wallet, and then the total holding volume, holding value in this real-time change in the past 7 days and 30 days, right? Total purchase, total sales, and the EV is kind of like, total purchase minus total sell. Total sell minus total purchase, but then also kind of add on to the holding volume as of this point. Then you have the EV out here, right? And you can see all that transactions happening. I can also show all this, just all that in there. Yeah, because 17 buys, 13 holds, right? And that gives you a very, very holistic view of what he is holding and whatnot. You can also see his activities. The reason that we're building this out, while it's also having an official Explorer, this is much more of a dedicated NFT dedicated Explorer to use. And then, as I said, has been serving as an aggregator itself. So you got cross-chain data, a lot more visual UI, and easy to use UI for the user to be able to, benefit from and take advantage of. All right, so that's all, kind of the functionalities that we build in. If you want to do a specific analysis on a specific whales address out here. And then we also support analysis on specific transactions, right? And that's what I mean when you click on the live data, right? And then you have the version ID of each and every transaction, right? Right now, I already got one of the tab pulled up here. We can just look at that in detail, right? So that specific transaction ID, that's just coming, if I click on any of the transaction version, and then that comes in here. That shows me the status of it. It's already been completed, right? They got transaction hash. If you click on there, that takes you to the Aptos Team Explorer, gives you a lot bit more detail. Specifically, around the coding side is more for developers, just to check things whether they're running as they should be. Right, I'm not going to go into detail here, but we have that function built in, right? So if these professionals want to check that, they can. And also shows you where that's coming from, from a specific address, contract creators, whatnot, right? And it's interaction. So this is a batch purchase, as you can see, and it tells 5 different NFT assets coming from the same collection, right? And what's even better, it shows you all that fund tracing, right? Amounts 25 APT. This amount was sent to the as royalty. This is to the official team themselves. This is perhaps the if we look into the ID, you'll see that's the transaction fee. It's been paid to the marketplace, and then this is what the actual sellers receive, right? So it gives you all that breakdown of the funds, which I personally think is a great functionality to use, right? And also the gas fee that's entailed in the moment and the timestamp that's happening, right? All that kind of details in here. I can also jump back and forth between different transactions. It's all based on the version ID here. Right? I can jump back and forth, and shows you all the NFT assets entailed here. So yeah, great functionality happening here. So definitely give it a try, folks, I'd say. Yeah, so that pretty much concludes the key functionalities that we sort of want to demo here. The team is keep building on this. We'll be adding more functionalities to it in the future, as I said, with sufficient funding in place, hopefully, and also be expanding the coverage into the entire mobile language ecosystem. Probably going to do rebranding as well, and to include potentially Sway, and then in the future the EVMs as well. So a few of the exciting functionalities that we're building for the next step, including one of them being the mint calendar. So we're going to be building the calendar functionality that shows all the upcoming mint for the specific chain. Right? For Aptos, for example, you'll be able to see it in the calendar, Now I can show you guys the Figma and the PM design photograph or graph design, but you can just sort of imagine we having a calendar that shows all the mint days that's upcoming, right? And we're also going to be having cache tracing functionalities, and also the NFT APIs that we're going to build down the future just for the professional to be able to use as well. So yeah, well, thanks. Well, I guess that's a kind of a quick overcap of the key functions of the Aptos scan. I guess sit tight and I guess wait for more exciting updates to be rolled in the future. So yeah, I guess I will wrap up here and see if we got any questions.
Hi, Bill. Thanks for your presentation. A question that I had for you was, obviously there's other like explorers on Aptos, like Aptos Explorer, right? And obviously you guys are a little bit different because you have integrated with Souffle. But I mean, what are the key differences and how do you plan to? I mean, obviously you're different platforms, but I mean, why would someone use your platform over Aptos Explorer?
Right. So for the Explorer itself, like Aptos Scan right now, I think the key edges that we have, I guess the key features, why people should consider using this. Well, first of all, is the NFT focused Explorer, right? So it's not just like any, for example, the Aptos team, they're their own Explorer. It's a much more holistic kind of view. For us, this is more NFT driven. Been having that sort of marketplace DNA and integrated with Souffle, then yeah, that's much more NFT driven, right? And you can see you got much more visual appearance. For example, if you look at the latest transactions, it shows you all the cover image here for that transactions. Great visual appearance, right? And then I guess a more analytical driven kind of a user interface. That's what I mean when you go to the homepage, for example, right? It shows you all that data in here and all the charts and graphs. Very great user interface and visual impact, which I think is easy to use. You go to the floor price here before clicking into it. You even got the the traceable sort of figure 4 ads just through the cursor. So yeah, I guess very analytical user interface with all the graphs sort of impact, and I guess it's overall very easy to use. For analytical purpose for serious NFT collectors and investors. I think that this is a great tool and why that makes it stand out.
Yeah, fantastic. Perfect. All right, well, thanks, Bill, for your presentation. And now we'll move on to the final team, which is the Genie team.
All right. Thanks, George. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll show screen. Okay. Hi, we're Genie. Genie provides a social infrastructure for building more active web ecosystem. It offers user-friendly environment where users can freely move between Web 2 and Web 3. So most of the Web 3 ecosystem eventually has to use Web 2 platforms for communications like Discord, Telegram, or Twitter. However, the difference between the Web 3 system based on wallet address and the Web 2 system based on free nicknames or handles leads to many difficulties, like if user wants to send a gift to another Web 3 friends, it is not easy to know their wallet address through Web 2 communication. So ultimately, it leads to the situation where a user has to ask for unkind wallet address. Genie tries to solve this problem by forming a unified identity layer that aims to provide user with data on social activities in the web ecosystem. The system works as follows. The user commands through a bot, like a Discord bot or Telegram bot on the Web2 platform, and Genie layer interprets it into support the user's desired actions, such as sending tokens to friends. So the Genie layer consists of two components: social layer, account like Web2 profile, and SPT that this account is binded to the Genie layer. The social layer account acts as an inbox wallet. So that links to Web2 profile that receives assets from friends and is automatically generated with SVT inside it. People can access the Genie layer on the Web2 platform through social layer account. The user's social layer account can be accessed through multiple wallets registered by users. So if like person A sends to a token to person B's inbox wallet, then person B can claim it with pre-registered wallets that like Petra, Rise, or every wallet that allows Aptos. So this is the system diagram of how inbox wallet looks like. So each inbox account is resource account on Aptos networks, and it has same module that register and transfer coin, which will be called when others trying to send tokens to this inbox wallet, and opt-in and transfer token, which this is for NFTs, and claim coins, claim token, and verify user wallets to register it, or unverify wallets to unregister it. And we will expand it through meta transaction call can be used possible in inbox wallet. So registered wallet can use inbox wallet to do activities on Aptos network. The Genie relayer is a relayer that connects Web2 platform activities to Web3 ecosystem activities. So user can perform Web3 activities through sending commands to the Genie bot and receive detailed information about the activity. All activities through the Genie layer are indexed and analyzed, which is valuable because it matches on-chain history with user's identity in Web2. And also visually displayed to show the user's Web2, Web3 activity history. So this is how the Genie layer works. So first of all, user sends commands to the Telegram or Discord using Genie bots, and the Discord send this command to the Discord bot that we created, and then it fetches the target's data. So, and then we send a link to the Discord that leads to the front end app that combines social account info and enable users to use their wallets, like browser extension wallets or mobile app wallets, to send a transaction to the Aptos network. At the same time, every data are recorded and analyzed and visualized with our analysis tool, and which will be provided to show the social graph between the web communities. These are the diagram of data analysis tool. So we gathered on-chain transaction data and Discord chat data at the same time to show the true relationships are how the relationships are being formed inside the web community. So I'll show some demo. So you can verify yourself through GenieBot to create the account. And at the same time, you can register your wallets through our front app. So inbox wallets are created automatically, and then first wallets can be your wallets that register to the Genie accounts. You can send coins to others using Genie relayer. And the important thing about Web3 is like self-sovereignty, and we never store private key or other data to our database. We just let a layer that let users to send to others with convenience with their own wallets. To claim the coins or tokens from your inbox account, then you have to register your wallet first, and then you can claim it with the wallet you registered. You can send NFT using our front app, and we let users to having a very convenient experience by letting them to choose which NFT they want to send through our front app. your inbox account is like inbox, like mail inbox. Like you don't have to care about what you got, but you can claim what you want to your real wallets that are pre-registered before. That means in security, like people can just send tokens or coin to your wallets, not get it from it if wallet are not registered. In that way, we try to secure your assets, and we are showing the social graph by analyzing data of user activities on web communities that is combined of Web 2 and Web 3. So there was an Aptos Soul hackathon last week, and we won the second prize for tooling. And we are planning to launch our service closed beta for April. So it will be deployed on mainnet at April and open beta for May. And we are trying to get a lot of users for our core business model will be advertisement and marketing through our front apps. And also tokenomics will be added after open beta closes, and community voting or community relations have some power. So this is about Genie. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your presentation. The question I had was in regards to the revenue model and the token model. How are you guys planning to deploy that, and what actually is the revenue model behind Genie?
So there are not many marketing platforms or portal. There are around the Web3 ecosystem because so many channels are here, and it is not easy to gather users to go through one services, right, in Web3. But Genie is a kind of a layer that connects Web 2 and Web 3. So in that way, we can gather like almost all Aptos users using our Genie bot, because like communities can use our relayer, and they don't even know they are watching ads or something, because they're just using the features, and what they can see is like a commercial of other NFT projects, other DApps, or new token launching events or stuff, and we help them to promote their products on GenieBot's front ad. And that is our like initial revenue model. And token model will be evaluated after our testing our revenue model and how to redistribute that revenue to the users of the Genie.
Perfect. Got it. Cool. Well, thank you. Thanks for presenting. Cool. So that concludes our demo session for today. So I want to say thank you to all the teams and presenters for joining us today and contributing your times and efforts to today's demo session. And it was fantastic to hear from you all and what your teams are building. This session is extremely helpful for us in the community to better understand the project, vision, and your future plans. Guys in the audience, if you do have any questions for the presenting teams, please feel free to join their community, engage with them, and try out their products. I'm sure that I'd love to hear feedback from you guys. Tomorrow we do have episode 3 of Aptos Grant DAO program running. So if anyone in the audience is interested and hasn't followed us yet on YouTube and Binance Lives, please make sure that you do so that you don't miss out on these upcoming sessions. And also to join our community, please scan the QR codes to join our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. So thanks, guys, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thanks, George.